Welcome viewers to the Founder Talk Show. I'm your host Major Sunil Shetty. Till a few years ago, logistics was an unorganized sector. This sector posed multiple challenges both to the service provider and to the end user. However, with the entry of startups, this sector has been disrupted. The traditional business has been disrupted. And add to it, technology has made this sector smart and transparent. Today we have with us Sangeeta Yadav, who is a co-founder of PortFlip. This is a logistics startup. It's an aggregator and it caters for intercity transportation, especially between Mumbai and Pune. Welcome Sangeeta, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Sunilji, for having me on this show.
The first thing that comes to to one's mind is why logistics. When you look at logistics as a sector, the typical picture that emerges when you talk about logistics is trucks, porters, and whatnot. So why logistics?
This is sounding like, why politics? People say politics is dirty, but then someone has to do the dirty job. Someone has to do the cleaning. So similarly, we thought, why not logistics? It is evergreen and there is so much that we can do. Yes, we know that it is a very traditional business that has been carried out, from ages. But then still there is so much of technology that can be applied to it to make the lives of everyone who is involved into it much easier and smooth. When a few years back, booking a cab was such a huge challenge. You had to go to the Naka, you had to speak to, the Kalipili taxi drivers and, bargain for the rates. So these were the challenges that the customers were facing. High rates were there, professional behavior was not, there at all. So it was total dadagiri. So the same problem is there in the trucking industry also. If you, as an individual, have to, shift your household goods, or as a company, you have to shift your goods to some other place. The old age method was to visit a Naka, speak to multiple drivers, bargain for the rates, and then, finally the, trip would be carried out. But then there is no guarantee because, there is no feedback or rating system or appraisal system that will motivate the trucker to, do things in a good way. So these were huge challenges that were faced by the customers. Not only that, that these were the challenges faced, and that is what we tried to tackle with our startup PortFlip. So we started doing research in 2016 because this is an evergreen industry. Everything can come to an end, but then logistics is always going to be there. We have seen this during the last couple of years when COVID-19 hit us all, and everyone were stuck in their homes. Most of us started work from home. So life has changed completely for everyone, but then logistics is still going on. It is still running on. The trucks are, moving from one point to another, carrying goods and supplies and, everything that is required to sustain ourselves. So this business is going to be there, and that is why we started this. It was a, clearly thought over decision. So that is how PortFlip was born.
PortFlip is basically intercity. Are you currently operating only between Mumbai and Pune, or the other cities also you cater to?
Yes. So for the first 2 years, we were focusing on Mumbai. Mumbai was doing great. Then we opened Pune also. And just last month back, when the situation has improved in other cities also, we are now debuting to Hyderabad and Ahmedabad. So very soon you will be, seeing our trips being carried out in these cities as well. So PortFlip is a model which can be replicated into any city because the technology is ready. All we need to do is hire partners in those areas and make them understand how things work with technology, with it, how orders are coming in and how it can impact their lives also. So this is a model which will be replicated in first in all the tier 1 cities, then we will cover tier 2 and tier 3 cities also. Also, Sunilji, this model can be taken at a global level also. Countries wherein this type of model can work global also. That is what I'm trying to say.
So, what's your business model? I mean, do you aggregate trucks, or are you just giving the technology which can onboard logistic players, be it a truck owner, be it small and large logistic companies? How does this work?
So we are an aggregator platform, and we have partners on board with us. Partners can be individual truck owners, or they could be fleet owners, or they could be drivers hired by people who are not interested in trucks, but then they'll just rent it out. So these are the type of partners that are coming on board with us. So we call them partners. And then there are customers who would need those services. So we deal mostly in light trucks, which are like, Chota Hathi Tata Ace, pickup 407, which is used mostly for shifting, and also light commercial vehicles are what we deal into. And partners are, where there are a variety of partners. We also have commission agents on board with us. These are people who don't have any trucks, but then they do have information as to which truck can be available, for a particular route, because that is the way traditional trucking industry has operated all this while. So this is the type of partner network that we have on board with us. And we do uh, trips within the city, and sometimes when the clients demand, or they require trucks to go outside the state, then we arrange for that also.
If you can take us through a journey between how end user might use your platform to the to the service provider, be it a trucker or a truck owner or a logistic company.
Sure. So our app is available on Google Play Store. So one needs to download the app, and from the app, if you're a customer, you can choose the variety of trucks that you would need. You need to enter the pickup and drop area, the type of goods that you need to shift. You will get to see the maximum weight that that particular truck can carry. And then when you go to the next screen, then you get to see the rates for the areas that you have chosen, the pickup area and the drop area. Toll is not included in the fare because it varies, and we are not providing labor as of now with the trucks, because that becomes an outside job. But most of the truck drivers are they are in touch with laborers and all, so they arrange for that, and the customer can pay for them at external basis. But then that is how a trip is booked. So once a customer books the trip, then we have a partner app also, which is called the partner app. The partner receives notification, whichever partner is in that particular area, and then they accept the order, and then they carry on the trip on the time and date available. So normally when a customer calls in, our customer care team gets in touch with the customer to check in the details once again, because it's not Ola and Uber that just need to carry your bag and sit and take the trip. There are goods involved, so we have to be very sure as to whether the customer has booked the truck properly or not, whether the proper truck has been booked or not. Sometimes you as a customer may not know that. You will just say, I have two almiras, one bed, one sofa, so which type of truck would I need? So these type of questions the customer care team can answer very easily and make the customer more comfortable, and that is how normally a trip is carried out.
Share something about the journey itself as a
Mhm.
startup, from the day you started to now. How has been the experience? What kind of reviews are you doing? And what kind of interest have you got from, let's say, be angel investors or likes, or have you been incubated in any incubation center? What kind of support or mentoring support you have got so far since you started?
Me and my husband, we both were earning in the corporate sector earlier, and we had purchased a flat in Gurgaon. So we my husband actually, he wanted to do something, and I have always supported him in his decisions. So when this idea of starting a business came up, obviously capital was needed. So we sold that flat in Gurgaon, and with that money, we used in building up the technology, and hiring a good team who will be helping us with it, and hiring more partners on the network who will be helping us carrying out the trips and all. So that is how the initial capital came to us, and we have been doing multiple software projects in between to for other companies, wherein we get cash flow, and that is how we are managing our operations in Portflip. So far, we have not taken a single rupee from anyone, no debts at all, and we do get interests from people who would like to invest or who would like to offer some of their knowledge or talent. But then it is very important for anyone who would like to be a part of our team to have that same passion and zeal that we have. And also, we don't want someone with a brand name but no value input for our company. So we have not taken anyone so far because it is going to be a very important decision. It is going to impact our company, and we don't want to drown by making any mistake. We have heard, many things that are there in the startup market. If you're lucky, you have get good investors and they help you. And if you end up with the wrong investor, you may go down the drain. So we're careful, cautious, and we are open for people to come and be with us. But then we have to be very very comfortable and comfortable with them before they become a part of Postcard in any way.
Logistics is not an easy business. When I say this, what I mean is there are too many moving parts. One side you have truckers. Pretty much many of them are semi-literate or come from a background which is not from different backgrounds, and then you have companies who are entrenched into this. The big boys of logistic business. How did you get around this, or how are you getting around this?
I think it has not been that difficult. We did our research initially, when we were hiring partners, and I'll share something that that may not be available, that may not be a knowledge to many people. These truckers, we see them during the day on nakas, but then do we know that they, come there at 3 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning, as early as that, just because they have a numbering system. So whoever comes first will get the first order. So that is how these nakas work, and one cannot jump and skip a number like that. So I was personally I did not feel good when I heard their story that they're coming at 3 o'clock. I would not want to get up at 3 o'clock to go and do some business. So if it is possible for them to get trips on their mobile right in the comforts of their homes, they don't have to come on the naka. They can spend quality time with their family and take proper rest also. So that is one, side of the partners that we saw. Also, the biggest issue with the partners is that they don't get their payments on time. If they get their payments on time, they are more than happy to come again and again and do more orders. I think this is applicable for everyone. You do business with anyone, you get your payments on time, you'll be very happy. So the same applies with partners also. If they are happy, they will ensure that the services that they carry out, the way they treat the customers, because they are our face when they deal with the customers. So they are very good. And we have received good feedbacks, for our partners from our customers. Our customer may take credit and pay us after 45 days, 60 days, but then we ensure that the partner is, made the payment whether after the trip is completed. At least, after it should not exceed 24 hours. So this has created a very good name of Postcard among partners network. And initially our team used to go out on field to hire partners. But then right now we get so many partners, on referral basis that this company is good, they pay on time and they give you trips. So that is the image that Postcard has among partners. So every now and then we have, partners coming to our office and visit us now that COVID situation has improved slightly, and it really makes us happy. And as far as the clients are concerned, most of the clients we deal into both B2B and B2C. So B2C are mostly for householding goods and stuff. So that is absolutely understood because we are into that from quite a long time. So these are ad hoc drivers, but then they have worked with us. Customer may be new for them, but then we are known to them, so they know that they are going to deal with us. And having a good review, we also encourage them. We have partner star programs where we motivate them, encourage them, give them rewards and recognition. So they always try to give their best behavior in front of the customers. So be it a B2B customer or a B2C customer, our partners do ensure that Postcard's image is maintained. So there is no challenge as such. If there is any problem or issue or concern, which the client speaks to us, then we do speak to the partner and get it sorted out.
Let's take a step back. Logistics again is not easy. It is difficult business. we interact with a lot of startups, and we even interacted with some of the logistics startups as well. And one of the stories you get to hear is how it is difficult to take on the big boys, the big industry, the well entrenched logistic companies. Do you also experience same thing? How are you getting around them?
I would like to start this by saying there are so many malls that have opened in an area, but then still the kirana shops do have their business. So it's not how big, it does not matter how big you are or how fancy you are. What matters to the customer is are they getting what they want? And the value add that they're getting, is it what they want? And I think that is what the customer wants. So irrespective of the big companies, Sportsbet has been in business since last, I think we completed 4 years in the month of June. So we have been in the industry, in the market since last 4 years, and we will be sustaining ourselves for the coming years also, without being, invested by some VC or by some angel investor. So I think the quality of service that we are providing it speaks a lot, and our customers do return to us, especially B2B customers. B2C are like, they are not loyal for anyone because they have, I mean, once they have to change their home, then only they call you up for service. But in B2B, we do have regular business with them. And so I don't see any challenge, with the other players around. I think with having other players around, it inspires you to do even better because you have to stay in the market and keep your name up. So that makes us, all set every time to perform better. And for us, I think the real competition is ourselves only because we have to improve from what we were yesterday. We cannot see someone really big and feel bad or sad about it. We have to feel, better about what we were doing yesterday. And okay, yes, yesterday we were doing this, and today we are going to do this. So okay, we have achieved something. We are completing ourselves with ourselves in a positive way. So that is how I look at competition.
As a logistics company, what are your statistics? As in, how many trips have you done, or what kind of cargoes have you carried? How many drivers are you supporting or currently onboarded with you?
We do around 350 to 400 trips a month because these are all full truckloads. We are not into parcel, courier, or part load. So 350 to 400 trips are the ones that we are doing on a monthly basis. We have around 4,000 partners on board with us. But honestly speaking, number of partners, more than the number of partners, it is the quality of partners that matters a lot. So you may have 40,000 also, but if only 400 of them are good, then I would say, 400 is my real partner base. Is actually, doing business for me.
We're a channel for startups, and we showcase stories like yours and startup like yours. What are your thoughts about our channel?
I think it's a wonderful, thing that you're doing, Sunilji. The name is very, very catchy. My Startup TV. I just loved it. And I think this is not the first time that, we have been in touch. I think a couple of years back also we had exchanged some messages, but then it didn't work out. But I'm so glad that finally we got a chance to speak to each other. And you're covering a lot of startup stories. I've seen a few myself, and I think you're doing a very good job because something like this really motivates people like us, and you will be helping us to reach a wider audience. So thanks a lot, and I wish you all the best. In helping startups like ours, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Sangeeta. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you again on some of our panel shows.